What's up, guys? It is Saturday. It is game day. It is Tennessee versus Florida in the swamp. Let's get into a game preview this morning. Taking a look at this Tennessee and Florida game. Uh, Tennessee has not won in the swamp in 20 years. It was 2003 the last time that Tennessee went down and beat Florida in the swamp, but this is a different Tennessee team. This is a different Florida team. I'll go ahead and say now, I think Tennessee wins. I will get into why now. Let's take a look at Florida first. So, start off the season at Utah. Just honestly, a really, really bad game for Florida. A lot of little things that needed to be fixed. It almost looked like they weren't quite coached well enough on just the simple stuff. A lot of false start penalties coming on third down and fourth down and short, resulting in longer plays trying to convert, and they ended up getting them into some trouble there. And then the running game did not get going well at all against Utah. Had to rely on Graham Mertz, and Mertz didn't play bad. He was 31 of 44 in that game for 333 yards, touchdown. Did throw a costly interception that ended up resulting in 7 points for Utah. Um, they did not run the ball well in that game at all. Of course, in college football, sacks goes against your rushing yard numbers. So Florida ended up rushing for only 13 yards on 21 attempts in that game. The Utah defense was very, very solid up front, but when you look at the box score as far as the total yards for both teams, it wasn't close. Florida should have won. Difference in the game was the turnovers. I believe it was just 1-0 on that, but 7 points off of it. But you can basically count a turnover on the punt return that Florida had because they had two number threes on the field. Um, Graham Mertz was also sacked 5 times in the game. That was another big difference. That's why the Florida rushing yard numbers were so low. And in game two, Florida played against McNeese, and bit of a get right game for them in that one. They rushed the ball a lot better in that game. Had over 300 yards rushing in it. Um, so got some things on track there. They rushed 51 times for 327 yards. So they absolutely had to get that running game going against McNeese, and good things happened in that game when they did that. Um, this is a Florida team that I've predicted them to struggle this year, but we will see what happens in this Tennessee game because strange things happen. I mean, last year Tennessee had that one in the bag and almost let it slip, and I was having some flashbacks to the past, however many years it was that Tennessee had gotten beat by Florida. Battered Vall syndrome going on, but Tennessee this year they have not played a good opponent. Played against Virginia, one of the worst Power 5 teams in the nation right now. Um, then played Austin Peay, but Austin Peay did give them a game in that one. Tennessee has got more of a balanced attack, although rushing yards right now are outweighing the passing yards, but it's not by much. Matter of fact, in the Austin Peay game, Austin Peay game, they rushed for the exact same amount of yards as they threw for. So I mean, it's very balanced. People are jumping off of Joe Milton after just a couple of games, saying he's not the guy that everybody's been advertising, things like that. Don't jump off of it yet. Wait and see what he's going to do this year. He has had some accuracy issues, but he's also had receivers that hadn't helped him out a lot. And I'm not throwing blame on any side, but you have to look at the full picture. And Joe Milton has not gotten the credit that he deserves for the improvements he has made, and I believe that we will see those improvements against Florida in this game. Basically, what it comes down to is the running game, because Tennessee has got one of the best pass rushes in the country. Matter of fact, they are tied for first in sacks per game. They're leading the nation in tackles for loss per game. Florida's offensive line is a weakness right now, which is why they did not run the ball well against Utah, and why they allowed Graham Mertz to be sacked 5 times in that game. So Florida has to run the ball in this game to have success, and I don't know how much they're going to be able to do that against Tennessee. On the flip side, Tennessee also has to be successful in the run game. Florida has a very good run defense. On paper, this game is just going to come down to who wants it more. I mean, the numbers are pretty even all the way around. Tennessee has allowed a few more passing yards, but if you watch Tennessee, you know that on average they're going to allow more yards, especially passing, because they run such a fast offense that there's just going to be more plays. And I think Tennessee is much improved in the secondary this year. I just think that in this game, Tennessee is a little bit further ahead than Florida is. When I do these videos, when Skylar and I do these podcasts, I try to take my Tennessee fandom out of it and be more of a analyst, I guess you would say. I try to not be biased with my takes and with my opinions on things. So with that being said, ESPN has Tennessee down to a 5.5 point favorite. I have seen 6.5. I have seen 7.5. Most books have dropped from the 10.5 that they opened up at. The fan in me says Tennessee covers, no doubt. They beat Florida. I'm just throwing out a score, 42-17. The analyst, so to speak, in me is going to say Tennessee wins. At 5.5, like ESPN has, I'm going to go Tennessee covers. I think it's going to be about a touchdown game. Some people have said a field goal. I think it's going to be a little bit more than a field goal, but I don't see it being more than 10 points. I think Florida is going to make some things happen in the game that could give Tennessee some problems, but Tennessee comes out with the win here. Check out the game tonight. It is at 6 o'clock Central Time on ESPN. Everybody go out and have a great day watching college football, especially Tennessee, Florida tonight in the Swamp. Go Vols.